Hey, this is Rod Hayes. We in here doing it live with the people once again with the Los Lobos, the Wolf himself, Young Tazz, on the Tazz and Yahsinni show. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Disclaimer, Taz, they got to be aware I'm an iconoclast. I came to assault every one of these fake gods that they got up in front of us. So if you God conscious and you feel offended when somebody whoop your Jesus, Muhammad, and Abraham upside the head, this might not be the show.
This ain't the show for you. Amen.
If
I'm
you
right.
if you
You
if
don't
you're a Moor and you don't know the difference between the dirty Moor and the righteous Moor, this might not be the show for you.
There it is. Let's put it out there from the beginning, all right?
I gotta let it be known since you're doing disclaimers, we might as well go and get it on out the way.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
ask for no mercy from me because I got the same mercy that they gave us when they were stepping on our neck. So
yeah.
no, I will not tone down my colorful epithets. No, I will not apologize for nothing that I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all ahead of time. I'm not going to apologize because I'm going to deliberately say everything I'm going to say, and I'm going to mean that shit. And whoever get offended, that's on you, right? I'm not apologizing ahead of time, so I'm gonna offend somebody.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Let them know, Rod. Let them know that we ain't for to play no games, and we gonna shoot the first shot.
Shots
Right?
fired! Shots fired!
Damn right.
Yes, sir.
But now that we got that out the way, and we know that you will get a boot in your ass if you get out of pocket, you know, just all you got to do is leave, family. If you don't agree, or if you or if you come on some cloud chasing, listen, ain't gonna be no cloud chasing because you will be banned. All right. If what you're trying to do is just, I'm gonna try to expose blah blah blah. And listen, get your goof ass. But
They can
moving,
come trying to expose something and get their ass exposed.
yeah. Most definitely, most definitely, most definitely.
But let's get on down to business, Taz. Let's discuss this thing called Christmas and the winter solstice and what do it all mean.
Right, most definitely. So last time we had stopped this show, we had stopped right when we had gotten the knowledge of the spinal cord, the vertebrates. We learned about the T's and the L's. We learned about the sympathetic trunk system and a bunch of whole other stuff that that we found in the Quran and we were looking into. And we broke down a lot of the parts of admiralty. So we introduced commerce into the concept of Christmas. And we're going to pick right back up right there where we left up on part three. With that said, the next part will be El Sagrado Corazón, which is the Sacred Heart, because this crucifixion that is taking place is something that happens within you. Just like we talked about the concept of the story of a woman coming from a rib. There's also that crucifixion that we are thought about. Jesus died in the cross for you. Well, the cross is actually within you. And it implies to where your clavicle bones are at, and your spinal cord, which represents the rod where the sacred secretion transfers to. But it says, as can also be seen, the rib cage is the beast's neck. For the spine, where the golden honey plasma is made through the spinal ionization process, and cathodic or Catholic crossing of the heart. The ribs also represents the branches of DNA of the Christmas tree, the spine. And when the ribs and spines are flattened, they appear almost exactly like a monarch butterfly. All right. So this, I mentioned it as El Sagrado Corazon because that's how it's known as the most popular. I'm not sure if everybody has heard in regards about it, and it will build from there from this slide. You guys want to add something?
Well, the Sacred Heart, when we're talking about the heart chakra,
Facts.
we're talking about activating mitochondria. Whenever you see Christ, KRST is the root word. So when you see the word Christ, you know that they're talking about mitochondrial activation on a higher level or frequency. Now, if the man haven't been doing his self work to develop into a certain character type, he becomes hostile when that energy is turned on and he can't control himself. He becomes abusive to others and himself. He can't control that love energy, right? So everybody say they want love, but they don't want to do the work required to be a receptacle in which love is willing to pour into you, right? So if they're talking about the empty cup, all that goes back to this, the sangria or the sacred blood, right?
Woo!
So all this is talking about the blood of Christ, the Eucharist, right? EU Christ, the European Christ. And EU is the European Union. They're talking about the artificial replica of the Messiah to rise in Europe when the real Messiah rises in the other land. So all of these things are coded metaphysics and what they call conceptual physics, where they write like a word problem in math. That's what these things are. This is what you're looking at.
Okay, okay. Thank you for sharing that, brother. You want to add something, Sister Salima or Sister Yahsinni, before we go on to the next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna add this. I have my pen and paper, and I'm gonna be trying to list 10 things that the God is saying. So I'm gonna be doing more writing and listening on this show, and let the gods and the goddess take over.
You,
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
list
did.
10 things that the master is saying.
Most definitely, most definitely. I hope you all brought a pen and paper, because it will be necessary to take notes, or come back
Yes.
and watch the video. So you want to add something, Sister Salima?
Well, yeah, I just want to touch on the fact that he was talking about the math.
Facts.
As you know, I'm real big on the languages, and the original math was word.
Facts.
So we've been stuck in the circular on these numbers. That original math is the letters that you see. You see what I'm saying? But we don't understand that because the way they've been teaching us is with their programming. Our math taught to us has always been geared on what they want to see manifested in this realm. And once we go back to the original word problems, well, not problems, it'll be the building. It'll be like word building, but it'll be different type of math. It won't just be numbers the way they've taught it to us, or letters as an abstract opponent of an equation. Your letters would often be your leader part of that equation.
And to add to what she's talking about, when you look at modern math, there's only two alphabets hardwired in the math, and that's an algebra. That's the X and the Y. Now, where else do we find prominent expressions of X and Y?
In the chromosome.
In the chromosomes,
Facts.
right? So the Y is the unknown variable, but X marks the spot.
Woohoo! Facts.
Damn
Because
right.
the X is in the chronosphere. It's in that chrono in the clock. When the Roman letters,
Mm-hmm.
that X is the first one.
Mm. Yes.
So
When you look at that original clock that they had, that's still running our time backwards to us, telling us how old we are. That X is up there. That people don't recognize
really,
what they see.
the really we aging in reverse. It's Benjamin Button, but we think that we supposed to grow from youth to old. But we really, it's physically, yes, but spiritually, no. We grow from the wise child. If we don't properly control our growth, we digress into the aged, old, feeble-minded individual, the baby. Right? So they use the Benjamin Button to give you an extreme exaggeration of how it worked in hopes that you can put together the simplified formula of the equation. Right? So you build a man from the boy, right? But when the man falls, he becomes the feeble-minded, elderly, broke-down vessel, the aged baby. What's it called? Progeria is the disorder.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Progeria. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that's the disorder that make the babies look like they elderly.
Oh.
Which is actually an extraterrestrial trait inherited from great aliens with faulty genetics that broke down over time.
Wow.
Progeria, also known as Hutchinson-Gilford syndrome, is an extremely rare progressive genetic disorder that causes children to age rapidly, starting in their first 2 years of life. Holy shit. Children with progeria generally appear normal at birth. Bro, you
Hit
just.
images.
I
Yeah.
remember a movie like that. Robin Williams played a baby or something like that. He was aging real fast.
Mm-hmm.
They die about 12. They'd be lucky to make 12, 13 or something like that.
I think the oldest one ever lived was 20.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even know that.
Okay. So yeah. That's what's up.
Okay, so now Mother Nature gave you a parallel, a comparative analysis mechanism. This is why we always comparing her butt to her butt. Her knockers to her knockers, right? Because we need something to compare something to in order to recognize difference. So the enemy came in using the religious dogma as the seeds of dissension to create, divide, and conquer, which gives us these doctrines that we going over now. It was a military strategy hidden under the pretense of a spiritual solution.
Yeah.
Oh, the story gets deeper.
The story definitely gets deeper. So we could stay on that one. With all four of us, we could stay in this one slide and just yap it up for a whole long time. So just for the sake of continuance, we'll keep it moving. But it's getting deep already the way it is. So let's move forward because these gems are gonna be dropped today. All right, you gonna learn today, because people are always wondering, like, damn, what are we gonna do today?
Well, you gonna learn today.
That's what we gonna do.
That's Black Girl Magic talking. I don't know who that was. So every time I get ready to do a class that's gonna be unloading a massive amount of information, Black Girl Magic come through and she tell me, y'all gonna learn us. We gonna learn y'all something today.
Did he say a massive amount of information?
Yeah.
I'll have to go get some more paper.
So anytime I'm so imagine I'm like a puppet, right?
Yeah.
And the puppet master for the day is the one who's telling me how to teach the class. So today we sponsored by Black Girl Magic.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So Black Girl Magic, she tired of playing the games. So she say she gonna learn these motherfuckers something one way or another. And I say, okay, what do you want me to teach them? And then she give y'all the knocks. When y'all knock, she say, let them have it.
Boom.
Most
Yeah.
kidding.
That's
Sid,
why I'm here.
do you want to tell us about the classroom right quick?
Yep. And I'm gonna earn my knocks.
Go ahead,
So
Sid.
in the brain or cranium, there's a cerebrum or a horn. And within the cerebrum, we find that the claustrum or Santa/Satan claws, it sits in the middle of your temple or most high organ within the carnal body. So from this claustrum, there's a secretion or brain fluid produced every 28 days and most potent during the celestial events of every 23rd of December to the 25th, and the day your solar and lunar signs align or your birth. So this fluid or secretion is an oil, which is old times, which in old times, such as the Greeks, was called the Christos, or now known as the Christ. So this secretion marks its travels from the claustrum down the spine as it learns and collects all information on its descent or fall to its lowest form.
Facts, facts. Who wants a shot at this first off the top before I get in it?
So if you notice that this word colostrum is similar to the first suckle of the baby from the mother's teat called the colostrum.
The colostrum, yes. Teach, holy shit, yes. Okay.
Right now, the reason why a lot of us is having problems with the children because the pair binding is broken at the colostrum feeding to the newborn baby. The cycle is supposed to be the baby is born, you clear the mouth, you put them on the teeth, drink the colostrum. The colostrum, when it goes through the baby's system, sends a hormone through the baby's body, which also is infusing it with genetic memory, biological self-defense that we call antibiotics. It's giving them an immune system. And it's also telling them the program of the mother so that he can understand his own program. All this is the first information fed to the child externally after birth from the mother. Now, once the chemicals in the baby's body is hormonally released, they feed the information back through the umbilical cord, and this colostrum represents the spinal cord, right? Because this colostrum travels up the spinal cord to the brain, right? So in the uterus being a portal, it's sending a signal from the child into the walls of the mother's vagina through the placenta, right? And once this happens, then it sends the mother's brain, just like this colostrum right here is sending this secretion to the brain. This sends the same response to the mother's brain to facilitate actual parental pair bonding with mother and child that's been deprived through clipping the umbilical cord and slapping them on the ass.
Facts. Bro, you blew my mind with that colostrum because that is the most important part of the milk itself. You know, that's what activates the building process of the baby's brain, you know, when they start doing all the new learning and all that stuff. That was deep. That was definitely deep. Sister Salima, you wanna add something, sis?
No.
No. All right, Sister Yahsinni.
I'm good.
All right, all right. So yeah, from just to add value to what the brother just added, this essence that it travels, it states that is falling, it's pretty much the story of Lucifer, just as the crystals is the story of the Christ. It's also the story of Lucifer and my apologies, of
Well,
Samael and his fall into earth, and as when he becomes Lucifer, is that travel down your spine as it goes down and falls all the way to its lowest point where it
you mentioned Samael. That's it's an anagram, and it's a word problem. It's a secret in the open. The fall of Samael is the Psi priestesses that they call Gorgons in Greece. The Ma on Samael represents the sacred mother who they replaced with a man in drag. L is the definite article, but it also tells you the culprit, the dirty Moor.
wow. I've heard of different breakdowns of the name Samael, but that one just did a thing for me. It was because I didn't know the sa
It,
part. I knew about the ma and the l, but I couldn't connect the sa to anything. Just yeah, that
okay, if you type in the letters essay under images on Google, it's going to give you a symbol of the Psi priestesses. These were the doulas.
okay, okay.
And it's going to almost look like a bread tie rolled up without the bread loaf on it. And the Psi priestesses, they rank from 1 to 10. Medusa means 10th Psi priestess.
Okay.
That's not it. Put Egyptian behind it. There you go. The first one. You see how it look like a rope that's knotted?
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the symbol of the Psi priestesses.
Mm,
These were the doulas.
okay.
They were what they call them birth maidens in the literature. But the doula job is so underrated because she was one of the most coveted priestess to have in your community. Because she could come into a woman's life, listen to her life story, and tell her how to put her whole life on the path to her best life.
Mm,
You see
Okay.
it there in association with the Ankh, right?
Right, right. Yeah, I was noticing that.
Right. Now, there's the male priesthood called the Ba priesthood. If you put in Ba where you got Sa, it's going to give you a different symbol. It's going to be a circle on the stick. The bird, you see, he going to be carrying it in his hand. You see the double bird right there, what he got in his hand?
Yeah, I see what he got in his hands. Hold on, let me get a better one. I gotta find a better one. Hold on. Man, the pictures are too small. But keep going, brother. I'm gonna look for a better picture.
Okay, so the Ba priestess, the highest rank you can be is a Baba. Baba means great father, right?
Hey.
And the highest rank is the Maha Avatar Babaji, meaning the greatest of the great fathers, right? Then that's the teaching of the Kriya Yoga, which is raising the flame up. You see that symbol right there is called the Ba.
mm.
Okay. Okay. You teaching your ass off.
Is it is
So
it um is it polarized to the ma, or it's got some
it's a
other?
different priesthood.
Okay.
It's just a different priesthood. The Psi priestesses are the women who became known as nuns in the Catholic Church.
Oh, okay.
They were the Psi priestesses, and that was their symbol. And the counter symbol to them was the staff of Tahuti, the winged serpent, or the caduceus.
Right.
The modern medicine stole the symbols because they stole all our symbols because we can read the symbols subconsciously, which will draw us to the places of their destruction.
Damn.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's yeah, you went there. You went there with, that's my son's name, Samael.
Mm-hmm.
Tazz, did we read the other part of the display in white? And is different from what I read, correct?
Oh yeah. You talking about the picture?
Yeah, because I see some things that I might wanna continue on.
Yeah, go ahead, sis. Go ahead. We could get on with, because on the right side we have a little it's like a meme that gives an explanation of whoever was this meme, whoever did the meme of how the rising and the falling of the secretion and what it represents. And I go deep into this breakdown in my science of the sacred secretion. So I encourage you to go check that out. But go ahead, sis. Do your thing.
Yeah, so I see the raising of the chrism, or Santa Claus, Joseph, Mary, and the crucifixion. So
Right.
number one, the pineal gland representing Joseph secretes the milk. The pituitary is Mary, and she secretes the honey.
Right.
So both from the same source, the colostrum or Santa Claus. Okay, so we seeing that they don't just be making up shit, they just be stealing shit.
That's a physics description of a stellar event. So you just gave the reference to Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, right?
Yes.
Joseph is the assumed father,
right,
of a stepchild.
Facts.
Yes.
Right? And Mary is the mother of the child.
Mm-hmm.
And in Revelation, they call this child the son of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's telling you about the winter solstice and the first day of the solar return after the solstice. The sun, as the mother looks over her, as Mary looks over her earth belly, she sees between her legs the rising of the sun. As the doctor raises the baby up for the mother to see him for the first time after he's been birthed. It's a physics formula, but it's described as or disguised as a fairy tale.
Mm.
Okay.
So it's teaching you astrogeometry. So now you're starting to learn to read the earth with the stars using the formula, but they spooked you out and told you it meant something else.
Facts.
Mm.
But go ahead, sis. You could finish up the thing. Be
Yeah.
aware that the numbers are not in chronological order. If you could see
Right.
it.
I'm gonna go in the chronological order though.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'm gonna take two next.
Okay.
So the two sacred oils travel down into the solar plexus via the semilunar ganglion, pneumogastric nerve.
Facts.
Okay. Number
Okay.
three.
Can we talk about number 2 for a minute?
Please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you notice it said the two fluids,
Yes.
right? It's talking about what's called the gold liquid and the silver liquid.
Facts.
The silver liquid is basic cerebral spinal fluid.
Yeah.
The gold elixir is called the KRST.
Okay. You hold on.
Right? Now, the brain automatically pump the silver liquid, which is the semi-lunar ganglia. The silver liquid is governed by the system of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
The solar elixir, the gold elixir, is governed by the sun,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now you raising the sun over the moon, which is a sun that's rising up to rule, as the daughter wasn't fit.
Mm.
It's a physics formula for a certain time of the year.
Wow.
This is when Libra is placed between Virgo and Scorpio to separate the zodiac signs, because the enmity was put between the sun and his seed and her seed, the Scorpio and the Virgin or the Virgo. Virgo being represented by Venus, and Venus is the bright morning star, not the other star, which is Mercury, that comes on the heels of Venus. So the sun follows the mother over the horizon. This is Horus rising, right? So this is talking about the physics formula for the solar rays and the lunar rays' effect on your awakening, being told in the story of the elixir, because the physiological function, as within, so without, as above, so below.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, Rod, that led me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm not too off, but when we're talking about the moon, wasn't there a time when it wasn't here?
Yeah.
Because I keep seeing it tied into the female or our body or our stories or our information.
The
How
story,
is it?
the story of them placing the moon there is when it say in Genesis that the woman will traverse in labor, right?
Mhm.
That's because they put something there to control her cycle, to take the control away from her by artificial means.
Damn.
This is the death of Lilith, because the moon of Saturn is Lilith. And that's the energy that the women was synced at, where they was controlling when they gave birth and when they used their cycle and when they didn't come on the cycle.
And
So they put the battleship up there called the moon, and they synced it to the Dark Knight satellite for the holographic projection and to change the women. It took the women thousands of years to learn how to use the moon magic, what we call the silver key or oracle magic. But when they figured it out, Big Mama said, okay, let's go.
right, what you just said, and we now I had no freaking idea about what the gem that the brother just dropped right now. But if you look at what was previously mentioned in the other two parts in regards about the gift, the gametry intrafallopian tube transfer, which is what women do to allow some another woman to give birth, it coincides with the moon being built up there. Like like I've heard of the whole the moon wasn't up there before, but not a breakdown like that. That was I'm gonna have to agree with Nathaniel and just say talk your shit. Fuck it.
I
And
want to add to that.
Go ahead, sis. Break it down for us.
Okay, now we got these cycles for every 28 days, right?
Facts.
Okay, so you got the women on the cycle for 28 days for their menstruals, right?
yes.
If you're a meat, cheese, and sugar eater, you on a cycle to have a cold every 28 days, right?
Mhm.
About that time, your kids about give up the mucus because that's their natural immunity system. They have to fight back. So they need that whole month to fight back, and then they're going to go through that 2-week drainage period like a woman would on her menstruals, right?
Yes.
So this is the time when your immunity is kicking in for you to do other shit, but we can't see it because we still on those cycles. Remember the last show you had, Tazz, and you was like the sun and the moon, and I said I don't equate that as opposites. I felt that they were mechanisms put there for a reason.
Right.
Right, facts. And then the guy Rod just hit it right back on the nose, exactly what I said before. Those are mechanisms put in place to control. We're out of with this right now, but what we're saying, we are falling out of their time. We're falling out of their frequency because their time is a fallacy. So we only got a few more times when we're going to keep going through these cycles of 28 because that other stuff about to fall out of play. You see what I'm saying? So in a minute, everybody about to do the big cleanse, the big cycle. Ain't going to be no 28 days like that. You going to be cleansing straight facts. And and some people might not understand what feeling they're going through. It might feel like anxiety, high anxiety a little bit. Because your mind is cleansing too. You ain't just cleansing the mucus and that, you cleansing everything. It's a whole time of cleanse. But we got to get off that moon cycle because that leads us back to their cycle. When you do the big cleanse, ain't no more. You off that timeline. That's done.
Yeah. So the women use the lunar cycles to ride the menstrual wave on a biorhythmic chart. When they sync together, they can control the cycle again, meaning that if they're not ready to bear a child, they don't see a reason to go through a menstrual cycle. So they turn it off. But when they realize, okay, I think I'm ready to have a baby, then she'll go through 3 menstrual cycles. The first 2 will be purging her system of impurities. But she won't ovulate in the first 2 cycles. She won't ovulate until the 3rd cycle because she already used the first 2 cycles to purge and clean the system.
I had to take my hat off to you guys on that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's so in depth, you know. It's like Sis said, you know, we're buried on the line, and we going in it like for real. So
this is also a legal notice too.
Yes, this is how it should be done. We shouldn't be skipping over parts. If there's some clarification that we can get out of anything, we should stop and listen to that. Today was the right day for Rod Hayes to be in the house because we always go deep, but now it's getting deeper. So I'm gonna read part 3 unless somebody else got something to say.
No, go ahead, Sis. Do your thing.
Okay, so 3 says the psychophysical germ or the fruit of the tree of life is born in the solar plexus or the manger. The psychophysical germ is born in the manger.
So this is the development of the fleshy portion of the cell. So when they talk about here, this is where your other brain is. This is your stomach. This is why fasting is required. Because once you can control this energy center that they pointing at right there, called your gut, then you can control your emotional body. Your emotional body, you need to be able to read your emotions instead of be overwhelmed by your emotions. It's your navigation system.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what they're talking about with that energy center in the development of it. It's still another formula. So we've seen 3 different formulas in 3 different parts of the descriptive analysis of this system of the colostrum. Right now we got other descriptions to come, and we don't even know what we finna run into.
Right.
But it must be good.
It's always good. Always. So Number 4 says the Ida or red, Pingala or blue. Those are two nerve fluids where at the crossing of the medulla oblongata, the crucifixion takes place where it rests for 2.5 days.
You see, it said the Ida,
Yes.
and Ida means red,
Yes.
and Pregea means blue. When you look on the male, this is the separating of the male sperm from the female sperm produced in the testes. And it's also in the female, it is the regulator of the hormones through the endocrine system to balance out the seed that it is receiving when the woman is receptive to give birth. So these two things, either you're going to get a sperm from the father line or you're going to get a sperm from the mother line off the father line. And then the mother is going to say, okay, I'm going to accept this and bear this seed, or no, I'm not going to bear this seed, spontaneous abortion.
Damn.
Some of the women know based on the frequency of the fetus developing in their womb that they're going to be straight wicked. And she don't want to bring that wicked child into reality, so she spontaneously aborted.
Wow. And then others don't know how to do that.
Right. You're exactly right. But they were learning. That's what the Salem witch trials was about. Right? Because they came to learn how to control that, what we was just talking about, and to get their drop of blood.
I mean, you think Jeffrey Dahmer's mother knew how to do that?
He wasn't genetically determined. He was socially developed after the fact. But he had the propensity because they the descendants of the Donner Party who ate for survival and after plane crash.
Damn.
I seen that movie.
Mm-hmm. So that's where his name comes from. It's called a name variant.
Dahmer or Jeffrey?
Donner and Dahmer.
Damn. Wow.
Right. So he had it in him, but it was certain things in his social development as a child that never took place. For instance, his mother was never allowed to run the colostrum through his system in order to purge him of the impurities of his ancestral family curses that comes through his genetic anomalies.
So, Rod, clearly, we don't know thyself.
Yeah.
Clearly, we don't.
Not even close to it.
How the hell fuck can we learn all of this?
That's what that movie was about. Us. That's a whole colony genetically passed on criminality.
Shit.
Look at how those people were. It's a whole colony of passed on criminality, of clones.
Wow.
But they don't necessarily have to be a literal clone.
They don't have to be cloned. You could be what you're saying, the guy is true. These are people. Just in that movie, they just happen to be clones. But in reality, that criminality gets passed on genetically.
So that ancestor is strong. They got away with a lot of dirt. And
I'm like Joe Beller.
If you have the character trait capable of embodying that strength, that crooked ancestor gonna try to get you to do their dirt. Mm-hmm. So you be facilitating that generational curse because you can't stand up to them and be like, man, I'm not finna go rob that old lady. What the fuck I look like robbing an old lady and taking her purse for a goddamn social security check? I want to know how to rob the Federal Reserve System, the motherfuckers that's robbing our people. That's who I want to know how to rob. Now, all your ancestors that's about that drama on the right gonna make the bad ancestor bump straight in the spirit realm, and they gonna all be grateful that you didn't facilitate the perpetuation of that generational curse.
Mm, mm, mm.
Those are facts. Those are facts, brother.
Can I get a semi answer to what me and Joe Beller is saying? Like, how the hell do we learn all of this about ourselves? Do we got to go to school?
Nope. You gotta study yourself.
But how?
You saw what happened.
Listen, I'm
You got to
looking
take
at
it slow.
these five things. These five things that's here. How is somebody gonna know this?
Okay, so your knowledge base, right, is going to facilitate your style of learning.
Okay.
All right, now most of this stuff you already know it, but you are not aware that you know it because it's not organized.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You walk past the lecture and in the library, and you was just out of earshot, and you heard every word they said.
Mm.
Right, but you was pre-absorbed with the studies you was doing in college. You had time to go in and sit in on the lecture, to be in the moment at the lecture, but your subconscious mind was at the lecture while you was studying for another exam.
Mm. Okay, so my subconscious owned it already.
Mm-hmm.
So all I gotta
Now,
do is get it.
these descriptions we given is targeting key neurological links in the knowledge base you already have. You can only rise to your own level. But the goal is to rise to your level, where most people quit and fall on their face.
Shit. Let me wake up one day and be smart as hell.
But you already are. You have the knowledge of the universe encoded in your genetic makeup. That's what we're going over. Now, all you have to do is remember who the fuck you is and own that shit and be who you are, the mother of civilization, owner, maker, queen of the motherfucking planet Earth, goddess of the universe, and go about your business. And when you need the information, you don't have to know it. Big Mama gonna send you to get the answer.
Okay. All right. I like to think I was a shot in the last life or two. But
yeah, you still have all of your knowledge from past lives. It just ain't been activated because you haven't learned certain key activation information.
Well,
but you still, when you moving on in your rightful path, when you need a piece of information, Big Mama gonna send somebody that know exactly that what you need, and they might not know shit else.
Okay, so
it'll be just enough to give you the understanding you need at that time. Goes back to when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
That's right. That's right. You ain't lying. So I got number 5 to go, and then we can move past this slide finally. Go ahead. Number 5 says the sacred oil returns after the crossing or the crucifixion. It enters the cerebellum or Golgotha, the place of the skull. The fluid or Christ is refined 1,000-fold.
Facts.
So the 1,000-fold, where it say Christ refined, is the information capacity when you change the silver liquid for the gold liquid. Right? So what's happening at the medulla is there's a portion of the brain called the pons region. And in the pons region, there's a nerve ganglia called the reticular formation. It's here that your consciousness enters the body. It's also known as the black dot because it's heavily concentrated with melanin. And it's also referred to as the black mirror. Well, you can't see through the black mirror unless you have the gold elixir, the black and the gold, Big Mama colors. Right. The gold elixir rushes over the nerve ganglia and it flips on the pineal gland, which is a light bulb on the inner side of the brain in the upper right hemisphere, where it absorbs the information coming in from Big Mama on something called an anterior gyrus. It's right here on your head. So that's called the opening of the crown chakra, right? So it's giving you now, it went from giving you astro geology to giving you biology to giving you metaphysics, and now it's giving you the return of it all, what they call a resurrection. When the sacred elixir fills the four chambers of the brain left and right hemisphere have to be in sync because of the density of the gold liquid. It's called the sacred secretion.
Exactly.
And so Santa Claus is real. It's just not, actually, their little physical version is not too bad. What we're trying to point out here is like this Christmas have nothing to do with the occasion that it is today out in the real world. However, the story of it is real.
And, yeah, because the story of Christmas is the story of the winter solstice.
Yes.
Fact.
Right.
Happens every year.
Now, what they did was, we mentioned earlier, commerce, Tazz. So the same word, colostrum, is claws to rum, right? The rum was what they was trading with the islanders. The claws is the L claws, which is the 7 claws on the flip. So the cause of the contract on the cross, the T square, is the condition created by the rum called drunkenness. They call this the intoxication of saints, or the madness of magicians, right?
Hence the 12 days of the body drinking and
that's what I was gonna say.
Wine. It's just the brothers going. Yeah, he just Go ahead.
So the black and gold colors, those vice lord colors. So if you have a vice that you haven't mastered, you can't raise your sacred secretion. Once you can master your vices and you can overcome your 7 deadly sins, right? Then that's when you can raise your sacred secretion, black and gold, into Big Mama house, the upper queen's chamber, the queen mother seat. And the queen mother is the mother to the king. It's all about the awakening, but it's put in descriptive fairy tale terms. So we come to take them from the law, which is a fraud, into grace. Grace is gratitude on a universal level, but it's also a noble character, right? So the noble character comes from mastering your noble self, becoming what you aspire to be at your highest peak, Phoenix rising.
Okay, so are you saying that we don't necessarily have to go to the books for this information? We can go within?
Everything in them books is already in you.
True that.
The books is the training wheels to bend your mind so it can't go back to where it was before you read the book. So now you got to fill it up with something to connect it to the truth that you already know. They call that the purification of the ego, and it requires certain disciplines.
Facts. I want to encourage the family to please share the live. We appreciate y'all for being here. We just hit the hour mark. just so you know, brother, that we still got a lot to go. I got nothing but time. But at any time, if you do, I'm not sure how much of your time is available, but but we will be going probably for about maybe 2.5 hours. The show usually goes about 2-3 hours. So at any given time, if you need a break,
Don't be lying, Tazz.
And
please.
do you have a cash app?
Cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a Cash App, Rod?
Yeah.
Hold
Put it
on.
on
Yeah.
there.
I'm gonna type it in the
Some more
comments so
time.
you can. I'm gonna type it in the comments so you can pin it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Yeah.
Can we buy some time? Right.
Can we buy some?
I don't sell nothing and I don't charge for nothing.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Appreciate that. But I encourage everybody to please like. That doesn't cost you anything. Share, invite your friends, because we're definitely going in. The brother is definitely going in with his knowledge. So if you are feeling in the give, it is Christmas. You were gonna buy something for for whatever kid or for whatever. So in the case that you are feeling generous, the brother, like he says, he does everything for free. But donations are always appreciated. We love y'all. We thank y'all for your time, for everything that you guys do. So if you are interested in helping the brother out, please be sure to hit him up on his Cash App to show him some love. We also have the Cash App for the Empress herself, Salima Ellis. So make sure that if you like what the teacher is giving and providing, please show her some love. We also got Sister Denise Grant. We got her Cash App going as well. So if you like what she's doing, she's breaking it down. She's always ready for all the shows. She's my right hand woman. So I sometimes feel incomplete without her by my side. So it's always a good thing to have her here. And if you do want to, show some love for me, hit me up on Cash App as well. Money sign detached. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. But moving forward, we are going to go into the sacred secretion, and we appreciate everybody coming through. Salute to Taz, the chat, and the panel. Much love. There's music in the house. Peace and love. Glad to have you. Have you here. Greatly appreciate you. So attend one Maxwell said Rod lit. He be moving around. I've seen him on different channels. Gratitude. It's a good look. Yahsinni University is definitely family. We appreciate y'all. So make sure that you check us out on all our platforms. Check us out on all our platforms. And actually, I'm going to I'm gonna give everybody like a 5 minute. It's about a 3 minute break. I'm gonna run this ads real quick about Yahsinni University. So everybody that is interested in joining us, there is perks if you do join the university. You have access to me. You have access to the empresses. Rod Hayes will be available. If anything comes up, and you have the studio available. With all the perks that we do. But to make it even simpler, let me show you this quick little ad. It's about 3 minutes long, and we'll be back right in a minute.
Going. The dumb diversa.
We are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you. We appreciate y'all for sticking with us. Hope you like the presentation so far. We are going to get into the sacred secretion, and that's where we're gonna pick right back off. You want to continue reading, sis, or you want me to go ahead?
I can read.
Go ahead, Sister Salima. Can you read for us a little bit?
No problem. The sacred secretion. It finds this lowest form at the bottom of the journey in the sacrum, sacroplex, sacroplexus, or sacred place, or sacred place. This sacrum is composed of the bottom 5 vertebrae of the spine fused as one, and below is the coccyx. This secretion that has made its way down your spine and rested in the sacred place, Bethlehem, where the seed Christ is reborn, is the allegory story of Santa Claus and how he comes from the top of the chimney spine to bring gifts.
Facts. So when we're looking at this sacred secretion, it is in the at the bottom of the spine where it rests for 2.5 days. As it clearly says, that's your your sacred place, the sacroplex. You got to take care of it a lot, because if you were to like break it or fall on it, that's how you become paralyzed. You have no more movement. That is a very, very sensitive and sacred place. You Anybody else want to add something?
Yeah, it's a pump at that gland.
Yeah.
Right there in the sacrum.
Facts.
And then on your medulla is also a pump. So they work in unison to raise the gold elixir, the sacred secretion, up the spine. And this is when I talked about the colostrum and the mother suckling the baby before she take him off the umbilical cord. The ones who get the chance to do that, the child get the colostrum in the brain, which is this sacred secretion. So those children grow up to have above average intelligence and above average intuition and above average social development.
So, Rod, it turns out that the mother can do a lot of things.
Yeah, see, the mother is the tree of life.
Okay. So Dr. Blair said that it's the mother that determines the sex of the child.
Right, because she can override the Y chromosome
Right.
with progesterone and estrogen override is what it is.
So wouldn't it be in the best interest of anything carbon colored or copper colored to get in line with these mothers?
Well, the goal is to raise the matriarchy because ain't nothing gonna get better until you put the women back where they belong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Isn't it like a state of emergency? If the mother is,
We already passed that.
we are.
We in DEFCON 5.
Right.
It was state of emergency when we seen Columbus. We just didn't know it yet.
Damn.
It was state of emergency when Cortez pulled up, but we didn't know it yet.
Mhm.
It was a state of emergency when American Vespucci pulled up, but we didn't know it yet. It was a state of emergency when they claimed we crashed our landmass into the good ship Plymouth. But Plymouth Rock landed on us. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth is the good ship Mayflower, for those who don't know. And the reason why the imposters are still on the land because they had a long 500-year litigation. Right? And the litigation was tied to what's known as the Great Bible Contract.
Damn.
So all they got to do is keep you stuck in the Bible and you still under contract.
Really? And all we got to do is like just, keep manifesting. Not necessarily wait, but just be around. Just stick around.
Right. When y'all women start clicking up in the sisterhood, y'all can claim every city back using our rights. So look, in our culture, we matriarchal. Every neighborhood got a collection of mothers. Each neighborhood pick a mother spokesperson. And when every neighborhood is represented, y'all oust those artificial mayors. A mayor is a matriarch seat. That's why it's called the mayor seat. The female horse is a mare. Right? We use the animals as the symbols to show the position, and they undermine the matriarchy by putting the man there. Right? And so the women, once y'all, that's the automatic, what we call the de jure city council. When each neighborhood got a mother of the neighborhood that represent that neighborhood interests, y'all the aldermen. Then y'all go and y'all tell the mayor of the de facto corporation, we the mothers on the land have decided that we no longer need the service of any legal fictions to administer government. Once y'all put them on notice, they got 30 days to pack their shit and leave according to the law of the land. They operating under maritime and admiralty law as a legal fiction, imposing themselves as the government. Soon as y'all assert y'all original jurisdiction, they have to go and hand y'all the keys to the city.
Is there a reason that we haven't?
Because we don't remember our culture.
Because the women don't know that they set the law and that the patriarch is there to enforce it. Whatever law we set, he's going to enforce. I was saying that during that live with the Bible breakdown. We don't know our own power. We don't know that we set law. That patriarch, when he leaves the home, he trusts us to enforce discipline and not ass whoopings, real discipline and law into that child.
Yes.
because not only is that child representing us, we represent that child.
So share this video.
The patriarch want the law fulfilled, but we as the matriarch are still not in our right place. We reading the wrong shit. We following the wrong people. This feminism bullshit. This whatever this is, the distractions that they got for us.
Feminism is the other side of the patriarchal oppression coin. It gives the women feminism so they won't raise a matriarchy.
So y'all already on how you look instead of how you think.
Right. Y'all already got the power. Y'all just haven't been using it in so long. It's like an old arm that ain't been used. That motherfucker shrivel up. So it's an atrophy muscle in the community for the women to assert their jurisdiction. The most feared thing that this society have right now is that our people remember that we didn't come on ships. We was already here operating under a matriarchal form of government.
Yes.
And once they realize that part, the women can say, hold up, wait a minute. If we under a matriarchy, that means the general consensus of women to change the government is the law of the land. So let me connect with my sisters and say, Big Mama, what you want to do?
And you can't find any or what?
They already doing it. That's just moving in slow motion because it's not in the immediate conscious of the collective psyche.
Okay, well, do y'all need help?
Y'all need help. That's y'all job.
We need the help.
Y'all job is to form the sisterhood to reclaim the land. My job is to tell y'all exactly what the law is that's already applied, that's applicable.
Right, and you said all that's going on. So I'm saying, are you good? You need any more help, or
do you need help?
No, right. I want to apply.
Exactly, right, but the question ain't, do I need help? I'm the one telling y'all how to get the power back.
Yes, we need help.
Yeah, so I'm telling y'all the solution to the problem in real time.
Oh shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Every city, by consensus of mothers, you got to have neighborhoods, got to be represented every household, and then they will elect among themselves the neighborhood representative to go to downtown of the local city.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when y'all say by the general consensus of the women of the community, we no longer have any need of you to administer government, you can fold your legal fiction for non-performance. I already proved the non-performance part.
Right.
I already proved they was over here under the color of law in a de facto capacity. That's not even for debate. The only thing now is when y'all ready to start taking y'all power back, all y'all got to do is start clicking the sisters up. The mothers in the community is the power wielders. Y'all the matriarchs. So when y'all take y'all little neighborhood back, every neighborhood y'all take back is one step closer to taking the city back. Go to all of the churches, get the church mothers to get the mothers in the church to join forces. Take y'all shit back.
Yeah.
They didn't have long enough to come over here. They did everything they could to destroy us. They done robbed us. They done stole from us. They done raped us, our kids, our grandkids. They done raped our grandmamas and our great-grandmamas. They done murdered the chiefs, the princes. They done locked up the elders that's supposed to be putting this shit back in order so we won't get put back in order. So they did all the damage they can do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
The law of the land is when the mothers of the land, the matriarchs, start exercising their power, there's nobody to stop you.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So for the sake of moving forward, because we're gonna speak on the same thing over again. I'm gonna get out with the. Did you want to add something, Sister Yahsinni?
Oh no, I'm good. He answered my questions. All of them.
Cool. If nobody else, Salima or nobody else want to add something, I am gonna get to the next slide.
I'm taking the information and going, well, shit.
Yeah.
If all of this is true, then shit.
Most definitely. So the anointing, right? So the anointing travels down the spine to reach the sacred place, where it shall rest for two days, and on the third day you shall ride back up to heaven, known as the land of milk and honey, the electrical pineal gland and magnetic pituitary secretions. In this land of milk and honey, your 144 hertz of knowledge will be collected, anointed, and amplified by 1,000. You will be liquid dated, all right? Because remember, we're talking about commerce, all right? We're talking about commerce, and we are the currency, all right? We are the currency. So once we understand that, we have to understand that we must liquidate all this debt that we're under, right? So you will be liquidated of karmic death due, and will no longer have to return to this frequency realm where we are enslaved into.
I agree with everything except for being enslaved. We ain't enslaved. We volunteered to go through this bullshit.
True.
Because most of us at this time is the ancient warriors are old that came back to close out the age.
That's right.
By any means necessary. So we using right now, we brain bangling with the application of the art of war, right? In order for the prince to ascend the throne as the great pretender.
Right. You wanted to add something, Sister Yahsinni, or I'll move on to the next one.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
All right.
Right.
I want to hit that up, Tazz.
Go ahead, sis. Let us know.
You were about to read the part.
The
144,000.
Yeah. You want to get on with that?
If you want to read it, you want me to read it? I can go ahead.
Because that's what I was gonna come in off of too.
Because that's gonna break down the 144,000 hertz and this whole story that we've heard about. Oh, only 144,000 are gonna be saved. It's a frequency. Exactly. It's a frequency, family. And if you ain't reaching the frequency, it might be 100% of the motherfuckers that don't get quote unquote saved. All right, but go ahead, sis. Let us know about the 144,000.
The 144,000. The book of Revelation is all about the 7 chakras. It mentions the number 7 55 times. 7 churches, 7 letters, 7 spirits, 7 lamps, 7 stars, 7 seals, 7 horns, 7 eyes, 7 angels, 7 trumpets, 7 heads, 7 crowns, 7 plagues, 7 bowls, 7 heels, 7 kings, 7 visions, etc. The number 144,000 in the book of Revelation is also in regards to the 7 chakras. When taken literally, it represents the exact number of souls that will ascend to God. In Kundalini Yoga, they teach that each of the 7 chakras is frequency of light energy that can easily get blocked by negative emotions, thoughts during the course of development. The symbol for the root chakra has 4 petals. Navel chakra has 6. Solar plex chakra has 10. Heart chakra has 12. And the throat chakra has 16, which equal 48. Now the third eye chakra is represented by the number 96, yet it only has 2 petals. This is because it is 2 times as powerful as the 5 lower chakras, which add up to 48. 2 times 48 equals 96. The crown chakra is said to be 1,000 times more powerful than the lower chakras, than the lower 6 chakras. So when you add up the lower 6 chakras, you get 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 12 plus 16 plus 96 equal 144. When you times 144 times 1,000, 144,000. Hence, when you relieve yourself from karmic debt, self-judgment, you will emit the highest frequency of light and will no longer have to return to this realm of form.
Facts, facts, facts. Now I wanna before anybody else says anything, I want to make sure that we somebody addresses the fact that it says at the very end, when you relieve yourself from karmic debt, quote in parentheses, self judgment. If you are self judging yourself, that means that you're here willingly and you're still here because of what you think of yourself and what it is, the judgment that you're placing upon yourself. But go ahead. Who wants to add value?
Okay, so there's a couple of things that I noticed. If
Yeah.
you notice, there's a lot of sevens in there,
Facts.
right? All of those sevens, everywhere you see a seven, you can insert the word master. And the master is a geometrist, a genealogist, a geologist of the sciences. So you're looking at all those sevens, you also looking at the symbol for the crooked man walking. All sevens flip to L's. All L's flip to seven. So it's a zigzag flip. Now the irony of it is in that description, there's probably as many L's in that description as it is sevens. But we just didn't notice it because we weren't paying attention. Mirror flipping. That's what that is. That's how we read the subconscious mind in order to draw out the misinformation from the accurate information by using those flip techniques of as above, so below, to use the earth lens as a telescope, but also using the reverse lens as the microscope. When we're doing this, we're doing science, but we're telling it in written story format. It's also a Masonic code for 144,000, right? So when they say 144 thou seeing, that means one angel that was sent, right? So it's also a Masonic code. So it's a whole lot of more going on with all of this numerology than we are actually privy to knowing, because there's a lot of esoteric mysticism involved.
Facts. Facts, facts, facts. Anybody else wanted to add something to Yahsinni?
Yeah, they're currently using inner city sirens to hit those 5 lower chakras. Because first they came out with the video of Tamir Rice at the parks, remember? And then about 2017, 2018, it came out that they were using the sirens because all the cities have these sirens in them. You can hear them sometimes, but that loud noise is not the only pitch or frequency that they're on that they can emit. So they use that to herd people into certain places and into certain ideologies. Okay, so that's why they're talking about those are your 5 lowest chakras. So when you talk about sevens, what are the sins that they usually herd our people in when we're in these urban areas? You could usually schools, churches, the club. You know what I'm saying? You could count off 7. Easy. So we have to be aware that there is a mechanism in place right now because you're the soul of the city. And they have to move you a certain way so that they can stay in control. So they have to fuck with those chakras and they use those sirens. I put it out on my page. If you go to Salima Ellis, there's a video of a young lady talking about how her grandfather hates the sound of the sirens. And we all do. It's for a reason. And see, and then they inverted that 7 patriarch, make it more phallic. Okay. So you have to be aware that these are the tricks that they use and that this ain't just something that's in a Bible in a past story. This is the sigils actually telling you, look, this is what's going on back then and now. But it's the same game plan, but they just using different devices on us. They're using different mechanisms. forms of schisms for in the mind, and they use it several different ways. The military, the police, the schools, like I said, the club. So these sirens are used to herd us in certain orders and to work. Work, believe it or not, is one of the lower chakras, because you can't see through that veil to know that it doesn't produce anything yet. But that was it basically. I think I was
Those are facts. Those are facts. Especially the part with the bells, how we ruled by them. You know, we Sis and I were speaking about that in word magic. So it was deep how we got into that subject. Now the reindeer. This is when we're gonna be.
Before you go, she mentioned something about the bells.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. So you remember Pavlovian response psychology?
Okay.
It was based on bells as a timer to trigger a response in the physiology.
Whoa, hold on. Repeat the name of that thing.
Pavlovian response. You can type it in. So Ivan Pavlov was a psychiatrist who did something called Pavlovian response therapy. He's responsible for the bells in the schools. The whistles at work became bells. Right. And in the penitentiary, they count you by the bell.
Right. Right. Facts.
Right. So those are all Pavlovian response network systems. Right. Now the school is a Pavlovian response Skinner box. Skinner box was invented by B.F. Skinner, practicing psychiatrist who used his own daughter as a tool of experimentation in the Skinner box for social and psychological condition to make her into a certain character type. So the schools using those two sciences is begin to develop drones through the system by dumbing them down and making them respond to the bells or the lower chakras in this case, based on what the sister was explaining. So as long as you operating in your lower chakras, your upper three chakras not being used, right? Because your heart chakra is inconsequential until your crown chakra active. So it's just spinning, doing nothing. Where your other three lower chakras, your lower base nature is running amok within the anatomy of the individual. Mm-hmm. It's also understanding the science behind the layout of the planets in the solar system. By understanding the chakras, you as within, so without, as above, so below. Right? So if we don't respect the sun and the moon, then how are we going to appreciate the stars?
Facts. Did anybody else wanted to add something? My apologies.
I'm good. I'm taking notes.
All right. So we're gonna get into the reindeer, and this is gonna take us to the attachment of why we need the children. All right. We're gonna start digging into the next couple of slides. When we talk about reindeer, we're gonna talk about immaculate conception, and we're gonna talk about the kidneys. All right. In the next 3 slides, we're gonna learn the why of the need of children. All right. Because remember, we already creating this gift. All right, that we're putting underneath the tree. All right. All right, we already broke down the whole concept of the tree. So when it comes to reindeer, when we look at the word rain from reindeer, it's a French word that translates into kidney. And the German rein means chaste, pure, uncorrupted, virgin. All right. I need you guys to remember that. Rein means chaste, something pure, something that's not that has not been corrupted, as in with a virgin. All right, as related to the Dutch rein, which means chaste. Hence, they used to have before the chastity belts. All right, to be chaste means to abstain from unlawful sexual intercourse, And the story of the Virgin Mary, the moon, giving immaculate birth to Jesus. We already know that sus means a kind of a swine. It's about all of us. We are the ones who remain chaste, pure, virgin, uncorrupted, because we are mentally consummating. There go them bells. Remember, we talked about this a few in parts two, almost at the end, about all these dingings and all these stingings. Brother Hayes just broke down the fact that just like we did in Word Magic paper PowerPoint, that we are ruled by bells, the schools, the work. Ding 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 ding, break time. Ding 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 ding, back to work. Ding 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 ding, time to go to gym. It's always some type of bell or a ting sound that we're hearing. All right. So we are all consummating or our relationships while believing our acts to be physical within this hologram matrix construct. All right. And I have the definition of chaste for those not aware of it, as well as the translation from French into English, where we do realize that rain means kidney. All right. It's a French word for kidney. All right. So you could literally say that reindeer could be the kidney of a deer, but the kidney of what? We're gonna get into that in the next slide. Does anybody want to add something in this one? Hayes, Salima, Yahsinni. If not, I'll go to the on to the next one.
Yeah, you good for the next one?
Okay, cool. So that's where the immaculate conception comes in. All right, because we are separated by our cocoons or our iPods, and only interact with each other through the electrical signals that the brain interprets as being physical. In this way, we all remain virgins, quote unquote, and every single birth is an immaculate conceived through the gamete intrafallopian tube transfer process, given as a Christmas gift from every human who chooses to conceive to the ET gods to grow us in their Garden of Eden or the Eden of Saturn. Now, this immaculate conception concept, it's already being presented as a reality. All right. And I have a link right here where I'm just gonna play out probably like a couple of give me 1 second while it loads up. Uh, Skip. And I'm gonna I want us to build on this is the first farm. All right. The first. Why is it not letting? Oh, because I'm on. Oh my God! I forget that this thing does not. Hold on, family. Before we do anything, let me. My Google be acting retarded, so it be doing crazy stuff. But let me put it in another browser so I could because my Google for some reason is always preventing me to take out the
Okay, Taz, while you're doing that, I want to ask Rob Hayes a question.
go ahead, sis.
So, knowing what all you know about things, what do you have a preference on? I don't want to say like what what's the creator to you, if you don't mind.
That's
The
Big Mama.
creator, the creator.
That's Big Mama.
Okay, Big Mama created everything, or she?
We all in her uterus, so she ain't created it. She still get the credit.
Okay,
She's show carrying a heck of a load.
We all in here. If you see what's called black in the sky, then the father's that's her uterine walls. That what they call dark matter,
damn.
the sacred noon, the primordial abyss of creation.
Okay,
Wasn't
so now,
nothing there until parthogenesis took place in the womb of the great Big Mama.
if you're gonna say dark matter, then I'm gonna say, what about antimatter then? Is NASA lying about antimatter?
Antimatter is just another name for dark matter. It's the mirror opposite of matter, energetically speaking.
It's the true black mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, because who would control it if
Right. So your love and light came out of triple darkness.
mhm.
That's why the light becomes the light of the world when you were awakening the Kundalini within.
So so the story could still be a creation story, however, it's just with a black woman instead of those tales that they made up. Is that what you're saying?
Everywhere that the woman was celebrated, they replaced her with a man. All of these stories has been turned into patriarchal glory stories to undermine the actual women who put the work in. Well, I want Layla Ali to be the greatest woman champion of all time, so I paint my picture and say that my name was Lali Ali.
Hmm.
And then I put all her information under my title. I ain't did shit. I'm just a thief. This is what all of the women of the world that were the guys of old were removed and replaced with, most of the time they just put a beard on them and they look like a man in drag.
That's what I always said about those Egyptian cartouches they were finding and stuff, talking about it was a man, it was a man. I was like, how you put his beard on backwards unless he wasn't even, look, all of them men, they crazy. You know how they lie.
Yeah, everybody talking about the pharaohs had these temples and shit built. The pharaohs came, the males, the men who was the ruling kings, they didn't have shit built. They didn't authorize building projects. His wife did all that shit. She the one called in the architects, which back then was mostly women.
Damn. All that
Right.
shit makes sense for real.
So she called in her architects and started creating new designs. If you notice, since the designs of the Greek buildings, there has been no forward progress in designing of architecture. Everything is just reruns of what's already available. But when the women was being a creative architectural self, right, they were coming from under the different priesthoods, the Sekhmet, which they was learning combat, Bass, which they was learning community development, program development, Black Panther shit. Right? They was coming out of their different respective clans and they was learning all of that shit, experiencing each clan, and then they would go create something that had never been created before. And that's what the Mary Magdala is really Mary with the mandala, who had the mandala effect.
Oh,
the creative effect, bringing forth the creation from the womb.
Holy fucking shit.
Damn.
Wow. Okay. Well, you teaching. So, we're talking about the womb. Let's build, brother. Tell me what you think about this lunacy right here. This is called Ectolife. It's the first real world first artificial womb facility. It already exists. All they got to do is just start making this thing.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy.
Right. They tell us powered by renewable energy, but they don't tell us the
source.
Right, the source. The source of that and where they're taking it from. So just adding that.
I want y'all to look at these images real close while he's showing them.
Okay, cool. Please stop me at any given time during the video if you If you want to speak on something specific, whether it be you, Rod.
Right now, I just want to emphasize to look at these images of these babies in these pods.
Okay.
Right, I wanted to emphasize it because I'm gonna talk about it in a minute.
They can become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a perfect solution for women who have their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other.
It's a perfect excuse for women who had their uterus removed. Why would you have your uterus removed? Something had to happen because of it. I just wanted to add that.
Complications. With Ectolife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. Ectolife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others. The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs.
400 pods or artificial rooms per corner that they have within the facility. You know how many hybrid babies that is, but you know
Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus.
I'm gonna challenge that off the top and just say that is not replicating the exact environment. It is not the exact environment because there is no ambient out.
A single building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year. Ectolife allows your baby
30,000 babies a year, one building.
Damn.
to develop in an infection-free environment. The materials that prevent germs from sticking to their surfaces. Every growth pod features sensors that can monitor your baby's vital signs, including temperature, blood pressure, breathing rate, and oxygen saturation. The artificial intelligence-based system also monitors the physical features of your baby and reports any potential genetic abnormalities. The pods are equipped with a screen that displays real-time data on the developmental progress of your baby. These data are sent directly to your phone so you can track your baby's health from the.
They have literally family. They have turned the act of giving birth into something that you keep track on an app. On an app on the phone.
That's that sick book coming into play. Women don't even have to push out a baby no more. You get to keep your body forever.
Well, my
Breaking
theory
natural
on
law left and right.
my theory on this is that after what they just did to us with the forced vacations that they gave to all these people, a lot of women's wombs will not be able to hold the baby no more. They are literally capitalizing on something that hasn't taken place yet. It will come a time that the womb will be so infected that, because the point is, to keep the woman under control, to keep her down at all times. So by making sure that you control reproduction, and now you're getting, in my opinion, family, there is no soul in somebody that's created in an artificial womb. That's just me. I don't care what DNA you put into that being, but this is what's gonna capitalize on the chaos that's gonna be caused by the upcoming downward spiral of the population of the world. Why? Because remember, before they broke down the what are those rocks called? Where it said that they had to keep the population under
The Georgia Guidestones.
the Georgia Guidestone before. That's why they broke them down, because they didn't want nothing. Okay, so you guys saw them, whatever, but we don't need your predecessors to see them. The people that are going to come after you, the children that are growing up right now, we don't want them to know about those stones. We don't want them to know that at one point in time we were telling y'all that we wanted to keep the population under a certain number in accordance with nature, quote unquote. All right.
Where did
But
they get that number from, though?
But
right.
that's the problem. That they number ain't got nothing to do with nature. What they doing is pushing they open penal code on indigenous peoples. Because I'm gonna tell you, remember you were asking earlier, like why would they give up their uterus? Okay, as a woman that's been through the medical system, the first thing to tell you is you got fibroids, and the best thing to do is give up your uterus. Or we didn't have a slew of kids, which we do, because I got 5 and I already got 6 from my oldest. I ain't even counting the other ones that's old enough to have them. Okay, so now they tried to get my daughter to get rid of hers, talking about, oh, you done. No. And this is how they get us. They use these, like the chief said, Chief Black Rock Gratitude. These are scare tactics that they use on the indigenous women when we go into the facilities willingly. This is why we said do not take those DNA kits. Where you think of the genetic code come from? That's what the Genome Project is all about. They needed our genetic code to fix that shit. Okay? So y'all took those DNA tests. You let them take your uteruses without willing to do self-care, self-love to yourself so you can keep our nation going. You helping them inadvertently with this bull. Okay? So I'm just, that's just some of it. That's just the tip of it. That it's deeper than that. But hey.
I did a video called The Desecration of Holy Places, Hysterectomies and Mastectomies. Because the same way that they desecrate our holy places on the land is the same way they desecrate the women by removing their uteruses and chopping off their mammary glands. But then they put the mammary gland on top of the mosque. And then they put the uterus in the form of the head of the Baphomet. So they can villainize the woman at every turn. I told y'all that. What you're looking at with these pods is nothing new. This is old Anunnaki technology. It's in the holy tablets. It's in the sacred tablets, the cuneiform tablets of Sumeria. When it said that they was growing the children in the birth pods. This is what they was talking about. This is how the Anunnaki was altering the genetics of the species of Earthborn that was already here. By using these techniques of accelerated development, right? That's how they was able to clone using this process. And not only do they clone, they also do something called genetic diversification by moving certain things slightly out of position on the genome to have it give a different effect in what's being born. They monitor it just like this on the ships that they use for the birth maidens. If you go back to Mother Hubbard, if you go back to Inanna, these were birth maidens who overseen the pods on the ships when they was taking long galactic trips. They would grow their own avatars on the ship and jump bodies instead of die. Mm-hmm. Right? So this is what you're looking at. If there's a description of it in the Sumerian tablets, and also on YouTube, there's some sisters that did some remote viewing on early Egypt for the Farsight Institute. If you look it up, they're going to describe these same birth pods, and they're going to describe the giant praying mantis looking being that was the protector of the birth pods, right? So all this is already old technology rediscovered by modern humanity after the genetics has been altered.
That's insanity for real. That I would have to agree with Jasmine. With what we're seeing that they're doing now. that's some sick people stuff or whatever, you know. But
Mhm.
others obviously breaking it down. I encourage you to. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, you know, because it's an 8 minute thing. But Ecto Life, just feel free to check out the video. It is the first world's artificial womb facility that it's already built. This is the capacity that it has. It goes into further detail, but we're not going to take it too far there or whatever. I just wanted to make sure that we introduce that into what we were talking about in regards about immaculate conception. If nobody wants to add nothing else,
One more thing.
go ahead.
Look up Cabbage Patch Kids origin,
Okay.
and look up Cabbage Patch orphans. Right. So these was children that they was growing in the laboratory back in the day.
Okay.
Right. They had a big exhibit of this at the World Fair in the 1800s. But this supposed to be new technology.
You said Cabbage Patch Kids origins, and then you said Cabbage Patch what?
Orphans.
Oh, okay, Cabbage Orphans. Okay, I'll see if I could. Oh, okay. I'll look deeper into it because it's not giving me exact details.
Hmm.
But I'll definitely look into it. But go ahead, brother. Continue, please.
Yeah. So this is old tech. They just rediscovering how to use this tech because we had a nuclear holocaust on Earth that gave us an early ice age known as a nuclear winter.
Okay.
We coming out of that ice age now, and the closing of the age just so happened to be the time that we restore all things. Right. So when we talk about immaculate conception, this was the cause of the war between Inanna and Enlil that started in Nibiru because she produced a male child parthogenically.
Woo-hoo.
They took away the male right to rule from the Anunnaki and gave it to the Earthborn. So Enlil got pissed and launched the attack on the divine feminine, the great mother, Inanna, Isis. Whoever sit on the Isis seat, the wife of the Pharaoh, the Pharaoh's mother. But the Pharaoh is really the woman because the word Pharaoh means the woman of the house. The woman is the light of the house, to be more specific.
Damn.
That's deep.
That's
That's
why
deep.
they told us it being great, the great lighthouse.
Oh, teach. Okay.
Right? So the woman can catalog the DNA of every man she ever slept with. And the storage place is called the Queen's Chamber in her brain.
Is that why those pharaohs be looking so feminine?
Probably because they turned the men into the women into men in order to conceal the rulership of the women.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Everything is designed to feminize the men, masculize the woman, underline the divine masculine and feminine by not allowing it to manifest by the laws of nature. But we was put here to become our best self so we could be the best mate for our mates.
Okay.
And contrary to popular opinion, every dude be thinking he pick his woman, he don't pick her, your mama pick her. She just used your heart chakra to find her.
Mm. Damn.
Facts. 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 Facts.
Okay, Rod, do you think Aleister Crowley was verbatim when he said um, learn everything backwards.
Yeah, he was telling you that they flip everything on you. So if
But
you don't learn how to flip it back, you can't see what they telling you.
everything is like pretty broad. you know.
Yeah, they use everything that we already do against us. We already do a whole lot of shit.
And then at the end of learning it, you said you didn't want to go through that shit no more. So
Mm-mm.
now you got to start over. Anyway, if you want to do something with yourself.
Damn.
I don't
Yeah.
mean I gotta like it.
Right. Well, definitely.
Ain't
Well,
no, it ain't nowhere in the rule book that say as I go through my development, I'm supposed to like it.
That's right.
I can get mad about this shit, kick my toe on the motherfucking corner of the bed, stub my toe.
Hell no.
I can be mad about this shit. Long as I get the job done, that's all that matters.
yeah, most definitely. So let's keep in mind now, just to go on to the next one. Let's keep in mind what we found. And remember, rain means kidney. All right, the rain in reindeer means kidney. Now, when we're looking at the word kidneys, the ren in children, all right, children is the Latin word for kidneys, name of a precious stone. We also find the word kid within the word kidney, and the Swedish ren, that means clean, clear, pure, which obviously connects in the language web with the German rain and the Dutch rain, pure, virgin, clean, and chaste. The kidneys obviously also help our biology cleanse everything, which makes it clean, clear, and pure. So we see this purity concept that we find within the concept of ren, since we have the word children, because we already know that the rain deer, the rain also means kidney, as well as the ren in children. And I know a lot of people. What did I hit the? This is, well, the ren in children is the reason why you have renal. When you're talking about the renal glands, it says of or pertaining to the kidneys. All right. Everything else, I mean, you could go ahead and read it on your own. Press pause and read the rest of it, or whatever. But the point is that the renal or the ren, it pertains to the kidneys. All right. As with the whole children, all right. Why the kidneys? Because a child is pure. It's not, it hasn't been touched yet. It's still in this virginity state. All right. So we have the child plus ren equals children, and the kid plus knee equals the kidney. All right. Looking forward, we have the reincarnation. All right. The reincarnation, because we're in a cycle. We're stuck in a cycle. All right. And we're steady coming back over and over, and we're not accomplishing what we came to accomplish in the first place. But before that, did anybody wanted to add anything about the kidneys?
Go back a couple slides.
Back,
One more. Okay, the word reindeer right here,
right?
it's also a code. The
Okay.
the reign also means rulership of something. And the deer is the what you call zoo type for the elk lodge, which is the Elks clan, those whose totem animal is the elk,
Mm.
right? So this is the rulership off the elk lodge comes at the cycle of the new solstice. So it's telling you a particular lodge.
Really?
And then you have the reindeer right there. That's the parody of Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And the Rudolph is the Randolph is the black girl matching.
Okay.
So she surfaces once again to get her point across. Y'all niggas gonna learn y'all something today.
Okay.
Most definitely, most definitely. That for those that didn't hear in the
You
background.
gonna learn today.
Ooh, shit.
Yes.
But absolutely, absolutely. Going back to the one that we was in with the kidneys. All right. If nobody wants to add anything else, I'm gonna go
If
to.
you see those kidneys, they look like the early stages, the fetal development of a set of twins.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because when they go through the first stage, they look like a butter bean,
Oh, I see what you're. Holy shit.
right? So the kidneys are the purifier of the blood. It's a filter, right? And the urine comes out sterile,
Facts.
but when it's exposed to the light, the uric acid converts into ammonium, which contaminates the urine,
Facts. Facts.
right? But as long as it's in the bladder, straight from the kidneys, it's purified, right? So this is when you talking about um, the need of a precious stone, talking about a kidney stone. We also find word kid with the word kidney. Kid meaning the baby goat who's going to grow up to be the great Baphomet. The Baphomet symbol is the goat head, which is also the symbol of the uterus, right? And then it says obvious connection the language web with the German Reich. And the German Reich was the Reich. In the reign of the Reich, the Fourth Reich was the unknown Reich, Operation Paperclip, a NASA connection off a Thule Society claim on a H.P. Blavatsky's secret doctrine in order to capitalize off of a Knights Templars 32-degree Scottish Rite sellout of the people. So it's a redemption program through a purification process of the children by understanding where the contamination is coming from. So the kidneys is where you filter it out.
Facts.
And that's why urine comes out gold.
Facts. 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 You want to add something, sis, before we keep it moving?
No, keep it moving.
Right, it's
I hear
important.
you. I'm listening myself. So
Hey, this is how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to flow right on through.